Yes, students, today we are going to talk about random numbers and different ways to generate random numbers. So these random numbers are very important in case of simulation. So random numbers are nuts and bolts of this simulation. So most of the computer languages have subroutines, objects, functions that will generate random numbers. One of the functions that you are aware and you have used in analysis, design and analysis of algorithms, that is rand function, which is used to generate your random numbers. You might be remembering, like, just give n is equal to 1000, it will only generate a 1000 set of random numbers. So uh, in this we are going to say these random numbers are false because numbers, the generating random numbers using a known method removes the different true randomness. And here we are going to generate all the random numbers between 0 to 1. So there are different techniques in order to generate the random numbers. The first one is something called as a linear congruential method. Second one is combined linear congruential method. In linear congruential method, the method initially proposed by Lamer, and it is used to produce the sequence of random integers. So what is this method? So this method uses a recursive relationship or x of I plus 1 equal to axi plus c mod m, where I equal to 0 1 2, that is x1 x2 x3 between m0 to m minus 1. So where a is equal to multiply, a is called as a multiplier, c is increment, m is a modulus, and x naught is a seed value and is also called as linear congruential generator. Now in the previous equation, depending on the value of c, so if value of c is not equal to 0, then it is called as mixed congruential generator, MCG. Then if c is equal to 0, then it is called as multiplicative congruential generator. Now x of I plus 1 equal to axi mod m. So that is when c is equal to 0. So this will generate the random numbers, random integers between 0 to m minus 1. And to convert these random integers to random numbers, we are going to do like this. R of I equal to x of xi by m, where I equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like this. Now using this, we are going to solve what problem? How to generate these random numbers. Okay. In the given problem, if you look at x naught, which is a seed value 27, a equal to 17, c is equal to 43, and m value is equal to 100. Now since the value of c is not equal to 0, then we are going to apply x of I plus 1 equal to axi plus c mod m. Okay, where I equal to 0 1 2, like this, but here we are going to generate only 4 numbers. Now use x naught in this equation. So x1 equal to 17 into x naught value is 27 plus 43 is a c value mod 100. So this, if you get it, if you calculate this, you will get 502 mod 100 equal to 2. So that is 2 is a random integer. To convert this, r of ri equal to xi by m. So here 2 divided by 100, 0.02. Here you are going to get the value of x1. So now x2 equal to, if substitute I is equal to 1 here, so x2 equal to ax1 plus c mod m. So here 17 into x1 value is 2, 2 plus 43 mod 100. So that is equal to 77 mod 100. You will get 77. 77 by 100 equal to 0.77, which is your second random number. Similarly, you find out x3 equal to 17 into 77 plus 43 mod 100, that is 1352 mod 100 equal to 52. X4 you are going to get it as 27. X5 I am going to find out because I need to find out what would be the effect. So I'll tell you what is P effect value. So X5 is 200. If you look at all these random numbers, 0.2 is repeated in first place and the fifth place. So that is every fifth place this number is going to be repeated. You find out R6, R7, R8, R9, R10. Here also you will get the same value. Now, when you generate this set of numbers, the very good set of random numbers are those which will not be repeated quite frequently. Even if it is repeated after a long period, after long distance, this number has to be repeated. Now, how to generate that? How to generate this good set of random numbers? Okay, wherein which the number cannot be repeated quite frequently. Now that is what we are going to talk about period of generator. So this is something called maximum period can be achieved by proper choice of A, comma C, comma M, comma X naught. With the same linear congruential method itself, we are going to generate the different set of random numbers wherein which the numbers cannot be repeated quite early or quite frequently. There are three different cases. One case, m, if a value of m is a power of 2, that is m equal to 2 to the power of b, and the value of c is not equal to 0, the largest possible period, that is p is equal to m, okay, which is achieved, c is relatively prime to m. Okay. Second case is if power m is a power of 2 and c is equal to 0, then maximum period p is equal to m by 4. After these many number of places, the number is going to be repeated. The third one, if m is a prime number and c is equal to 0, then the longest period is p equal to m minus 1. Okay. So now we are going to solve one problem wherein how we are going to check whether these conditions are true or not. That is, we are going to cross verify. If you look at the period of generator, use multiplicative congruential method, find a period of a generator for alpha is equal to 13, m is equal to 64 and x naught equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So now m is equal to 64. It is uh, multiple of 6, so it is a. Now x of I plus 1 equal to axi mod m. So now if you look at here, m is equal to 64 and m is a multiple of 64, that is 2 to the power of 6, and the value of c is equal to 0. So now p is equal to m by 4, that is 16. So that's what we got after every 16 place where the number is going to be repeated. If you look at this particular table, I have identified the values. So initially x naught equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. I have identified x1. So if you look at 13 into 1 mod 64, that is 13. x2 equal to 13 into 13, because previously we got 13 mod 64, we will get 41. So x3 we are going to get it as 21. Now you find out till the value of this xi repeats again. Okay. So now you Uh, After calculating the value of xi with x naught equal to 1, now consider x naught equal to 2. In that case, we will get 2. 13 into 2 mod 64, that is 26. Like this, we are going to get the values 18, 42, 34, 58, 50, 10, then 2. So the value of 2 will be repeated after 8 places. Now you take x not equal to 3. So that is the first value as 3. X1 you will get 39. So next value is take 39, 13 into 39 mod 64, you will get 59. Like this, you are going to get the values 63, 51, 23, 43, 47, like this. The value will be repeated at the 16th place. Now you take value is equal to 4. So 4, 52, 36, 20 and 4. So that means what we can conclude with this table is the maximum value, maximum gap, maximum period can be achieved when the value of I is odd. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So in the first, second and the fourth column you will find after 16th place the number will be repeated. So this is how we are going to generate uh, some of the random numbers, and we are going to check what would be the maximum period using linear congruential method. Now after generating this set of numbers, we need to test for two different properties of random numbers. One is uniformity, another one is independence. Now there are 5 different techniques. So out of which first one will be the frequency test and rest all is for independence. Now there are two hypotheses. One is H0 which is null hypothesis. Another one is called as H1 which is called as alternative hypothesis. So H1 is accepted if a set of random numbers are uniformly distributed between 0 to 1. If the numbers are not uniformly distributed between 0 to 1, then H1. Okay. Now, there are two different techniques. One is something called Kolmogorov-Smirnov test, which is well known as KS test. Second one is T-square test. Now, we will see like how these two methods or two different testing techniques can be used. Now, coming to the first one, there are different steps in order to use this KS test. First one, rank the data from smallest to largest. That is, whatever given set of random numbers are there, you arrange from lowest to highest. So like R1, R2, R1 being the first random number, R2 being second random number, like this. After arranging all these random numbers, you compute D plus and D minus. How you are going to calculate D plus? Max of I by n minus R of I from numbers 1 to n. Similarly, we are going to find out D minus as R of I minus 1 by n. Once you calculate D plus and D minus, you have to calculate the maximum value of D plus and D minus, that is D. So now, once you calculate D, the next important thing is you need to find out the critical value D alpha from the simulation table. So what is alpha? Alpha is significance level. So which is alpha, and there is something called as a capital N, which is sample size of that given list of numbers. Okay. Now you have identified D alpha. I'll tell you how to calculate or how to find out this D alpha using the simulation table. Now you compare the calculated value, computed value D. If that D is greater than the critical value, the null hypothesis is rejected. Otherwise, it is accepted. Okay. Now, if you look at no the simulation table for KS test, it will be something like this. Alpha values will be given 0.5, 1, 0.15, 0.20, that depends. Now, if there are set of random numbers as 5, so in this column 5, at alpha is equal to say 0.05, the critical value d alpha is 0.565. This is how we are going to find out the critical value. Okay, with this following 5 steps and using this critical table, we are going to solve one problem, which is this one. Okay, now the random numbers are given, alpha value is given 0.05, and the set of numbers n is 5. Okay, now this is given. So now according to this, the first step is to arrange all these numbers in ascending order or from lowest to largest. So 0.05, 14, 0.44, 0.81, 0.93 I have arranged. Now, for finding out d plus and d minus, I require I by n, I minus I by n minus Ri. This is for d plus. Ri minus I minus 1 by n. This is for d minus. It is better to have a calculator when you are solving the problems. So calculator and the simulation tables are must for this entire subject. Now step 2. So if you look at d plus, to calculate this d plus, I by n. So what is the value of I? I is equal to 1. n is the total set of random numbers, that is 5. So 1 by 5, that is 0.20. 2 by 5, 0.40. 3 by 5, 0.60. 4 by 5, 0.80. 5 by 0, 0.10. So anyway, detailed explanation I have solved in very next slide with the step by step. Now I by n minus Ri, I by n is 0.20 minus Ri is 0.05. So that is 0.15, you will get it. So 0.40 minus 0.14 will get 0.26. Like this, you find out the value of d apex. Now out of this, the maximum value. So I am going to get as 0.26. Now similarly, you find out Ri. Ri minus I minus 1 by n. So value of I is equal to now 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. 0 by 0. So Ri value is 0.05. I am going to get it as 0.05. Like this, you calculate the value of d minus. So I am going to get this as 0.21. Now find d equal to maximum of these two. So that is 0.26. Now what I got is the value of d is equal to 0.26. Now the critical value I have to find out. Alpha is equal to 0.05, n equal to 5. You look at the alpha is equal to 5, n equal to 5, alpha is equal to 0.05. So it is 0.565. So that is the critical value is 0.565. Now d alpha is greater than d, hence the hypothesis is not rejected. So this is how we are going to calculate the random numbers d plus, d minus, d value, and we are going to compare with this. Okay. In continuation of this, I have added how in detail, step by step, you are going to solve the problem. We apply KS test on this. So my first step is to rank all these numbers from lowest to highest. Now I will write I because that is first number, second number, third number, fourth number, fifth number. So my first number is when I sort this 0.05, next is 0.14, next is 0.44, next is 0.81, then 0.93. Okay, so now after arranging all these numbers from lowest to highest, we have to find out d plus and d minus. To find out d plus, that is I require I by n minus Ri. So I will find out first I by n, where n is the total number of random numbers. So 1 by 5, that is 0.20. This is 2 by 5, 0.40. Then 60, 80, so 100. So I by n minus Ri, I will calculate. So how? So I by n is 0.20 minus 0.05. So you will get 0.15. Then for second one, 0.40 minus 0.14, you will get 0.26. Like this, 0.16 minus 0.01, 0.07. So maximum from all these numbers. So this is the maximum value, 0.26. So after this, finding out d plus, I need to find out d minus. So d minus is Ri minus I minus 1 by say n. Okay. Now Ri is 0.05 minus I is 1, 1 minus 1 0, 0 by 5 is 5, so you will get 0.05. Second one is Ri is 0.14, 0.14 minus I value is 2, 2 minus 1 by 5, so from this you will get 0.06, okay, so 0.04, then 0.21, then 0.13. Like this you are going to find out the values. So from this list, what is the maximum value? 0.21 is the maximum value. So after this, I need to find out maximum value of d plus and say d minus. So that is a value of 0.26 is the maximum value from this. So this is my third step, finding out d plus, d minus and d value. Now after this, what we need to do is, we need to find out d alpha value from the simulation table. So this value is 0.565, okay. Now d alpha is greater than your value of t, so hence this set of numbers may be accepted. So how to find out this, I will explain in the PPT. Thank you.